Hey everybody, welcome back to our playthrough. This is going to be episode 21. Oh, mods have been removed. Let's sync mods and load. What's going on? Not sure. I think I had a mod that was for some other, it was like a dependent for other mods, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Okay. All right, last episode we were able to craft yellow science and with this funky layout, kind of an expansion of our mall design to take advantage of this spacing here. And we were able to crank out this yellow science and snake it back up to our base. Sorry, not our base, but our science area, our lab area, and this is going to be able to handle our purple science as well, because we can just stick purple science on this belt. So hooray, that's nice. We've got yellow science. We can do stuff with it. Let's see. Let's extend this here and let's fill this up with engines. We're going to start making sure that we've got a lot of our products available in these chests, because ideally what we'll want to do is set up manufacturing malls that are done by logistics bots. Yeah, no. So that's all looking good. That's looking good. Looking good. How are we for biters? Looks like we're pretty okay. We may not need to take out any more biters, so that'll be nice. I'm going to get rid of these. And you'll notice I turned off my RoboPort. If you're not aware, you can turn it off down here. And if you turn it off and then give a command like this, then the base's robots will handle it, and you won't have to worry about your personal bots handling it and maybe clogging up your inventory and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's nice. Oops. Super speed. Okay. Nuclear power's fine. We have got plenty of those. Plenty of fuel cells. So hooray. And if we look at our power, we're using up about 1/4 of our available power, and we can very easily stamp down an entirely new nuclear power plant if we want. We turned all of these off, but we can, or no, we didn't turn all these off. We've got, these were for copper just to give it a boost. Red chips. We've got all the ingredients for a complete new set here, so we can basically just copy and paste that design if we want, if we come close to running out of power. We can just grab this whole thing right here and paste as many as we want down here and just reroute these. But let's look at that for a minute before we do that, because now with yellow science, we've got some really great technologies we can research. The first I'm going to do is logistics system, and then let's boost our bots and portable fission reactor. We might want another one of those, or be able to build more of those. We built those before the expansion 2.0 updated, and so it let me keep them happily because they were called something else, so I think they replaced them. And then the rest of the stuff is not as critical. I mean, if we want to just research everything, we'll want to get those. Flammables, artillery, don't really need all those, but we can just queue them up and just start burning through the yellow sciences. I really like the logistics system though, and we'll see how that's handled. So what we want to make sure is that a lot of our products are available in these chests, and that makes them available to the system as a whole. It makes them available to uh, the logistics system. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah. Okay, so um, let's see. Let's work on purple science. How about it? I'm just so random with my lights, as you can tell. So purple science, we have loading into here, so we'll want to build that out over here. Let's take a look, if I can, at let's take a look. I'm going to try and add window capture. Okay. And we want to grab this one. Okay, so hopefully you can see that right now. Here we go. Hopefully you can see this right now. So we are looking at factoriocheatsheet.com, and this is super helpful. This is hopefully going to get updated quickly for all the space age stuff. I think it's starting to. For example, space science, you notice, has changed. This used to have rocket control units, which are now no longer a component. So, and they don't have like some of the new belts. But what is really handy on this is just these ratios right here. So these ratios, if you're crafting without worrying about these machine speeds, if you're just looking at kind of general ratios, these are super helpful. So we can see, like, for example, with our yellow science, we need a 14, 14, 14, and 30. That helps us get all of the components. So when we're looking at purple science, we can say, oh, we need 14, 5, 4, and 10. 14, 5, 4, and 10. Then you can jump back to, your game and say, okay, I need 14 of my purple assemblers running, and then I need 5 rail assemblers, 4 furnace assemblers, and 10. And that gives you an idea of how to build it out. So I really like that. Maybe if we line it up with these, and we can say, okay, this is our 14. We know we've got quite a few different products going through. Maybe they don't line up as nicely as this because we don't have exactly 14 of something. We've got 10 of our productivity module ones. We've got 5 assemblers for rails, etc. And it's like, and then we've got to get all of those in here. And 30 rails, that's a lot of rails. So it's like, okay, the rails are probably going to need to be on their own line. The furnaces and the productivity modules, they can be combined. So we're looking at rails, oh, sorry, rails coming somehow, and then furnaces and productivity modules coming through. And as long as we can grab, these rails really fast, we're okay just grabbing the other ingredients with this because it's got a long crafting time, 21 seconds. I mean, we probably don't even need this green. This could probably be blue because it's plenty of time to grab it. Anyways, let's that's going to be our basic pattern for those. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. Let's turn our robots on because they can help out building. And now let's see about getting all of these components. So we need 5 machines for rails. And we need, I think it was like 3.33. So we're just going to call it 4. We're just going to call it 4 for electric furnaces. And then we need modules, and we need 10 of those. Oh, that wasn't very good. 5. So these are our basic building blocks that we need. Now the question is well, how compact do we want to make this? What kind of design? I actually really haven't done a lot of purple designs. I kind of peter out once I get to this stage, and it's like, let's just chuck it together and see what we come up with. But we probably could, come up with something with these. So those need red chips, and those also need red chips. These need steel, and these need steel. So each one kind of has its own unique. This is taking green, this is taking stone bricks, and this is taking stone. And so this is going to need iron. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 components here that we need to bring in. And so how can we do this? That's 10, 15, 19 total. We could try and come up with something similar to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it could take roughly this format, and we might be able to bust out all the ingredients. Maybe. That would be a task because we would need one line for just the rails. We would need, let's see, these take 1 iron stick to make 2 rails, and to really keep this going full throttle, we would need we would have to have just let's say, we're trying to see how many assemblers we can have. But it's like, how do we answer that question? Well, we can do the same thing here. We can come back to this and say, hey, let's actually dive into purple science. That's what I like about this website. And it says, okay, if you're going to have 14, blah, 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 let's get down to the stick assemblers. We need 2.5 stick assemblers. We need 3 stick assemblers. It's like, okay, that's helpful to know. If we go back to Factorio, it's like we have to add another 3 machines that we weren't planning on, which is iron stick assemblers. There. Oops, that didn't work. So all three of these are feeding these 5. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of the blinking lights here. So I don't know. It might be a fun exercise to try and piece all of these together. But again, so we would need, how many inputs we would need? We would need an input of iron that is now coming out as an export of iron sticks. Those are going to get chewed up immediately by those. We would need stone coming in. We need steel. We need red, and we need green. The red and the green could probably be combined. So if we just use these, we can say, hey, this is going to bring in red, and this is going to bring in green. Okay, just little items. This is going to bring in a full belt of iron plate, and then it's going to give us iron sticks. This is going to be stone all by its lonesome, because we're going to need a bunch for that. And then this is going to be steel. And probably stone bricks shared. Those are on this page right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs, and then we need outputs. So the outputs are going to be rails. We're going to need to output those. And then we're going to need to output these on the same belt. Oh, that would be a challenge if we wanted to get some type of really cool compact thing. I think it would be fun to do it like this. I think I've done it before in another file, but it would be fun to figure out like just doing it again. So can we do that? Let's see if we can do that. Oops. Okay, so let's start with well, we'll start it here. So if this is our basic pattern, and we know we have another space like this, and we're going to have power poles like that. Okay, so the first order of business, we need stick assemblers. And we need 2.5. So we're going to get 2, and we're going to get another half. So let's just try it out. Let's go for it. 2.5. Okay, these are going to get iron in, and they're going to output here like this. So grab iron, grab iron, grab iron, output, output, output. Now this will be uneven, but I don't think this is enough to fill up a belt. I am making 4 per second, 12 per second. So yeah, this definitely won't fill up a belt. In fact, it will not even be half of a red belt. So we could technically put all of these on the same side, and we could then bring something else in as well on that half belt. But I don't think we need to bring something else in. It's more of just like going like this. And yeah. Okay, so we could actually even just say, you know what? These are going to be rails. These are going to be rails. And we're just going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, we could do something like that. So if we did this, we could bring the iron up here because it comes in and it basically is only used by these guys, and then it stops, and it's like we don't really need it clogging up any more of our space. Okay, so iron could come in here, gets turned into iron sticks. Now we could direct insert here, but it might be better to put it on a belt like this that these can then grab, maybe. Okay. All right, rails need 1 stone, 0.5. So they need 1 stone every second, 2 stone every second. So we need something that can turn faster, which is not the reds. We want to have stone probably coming in right here because it needs to be grabbed fast. We need to grab it fast. Let's see if this will work. We might need to put those here. We'll see. Oh, I really don't want to have that hanging out there. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Okay. So this will be iron. Might as well just start grabbing stuff and then see if it's going to work. Okay, so that's iron. This is stone. Okay. Now, we're going to need steel and we're going to need chips. Steel, same thing. It needs 1. So it would be nice to get steel up here. Okay. So that's got that. This needs stone. Okay, so steel. Sorry, dude. We might have to move you. You were just kind of there temporarily anyways. Steel. Oh, wait. Let's go. Yeah, let's do that anyways. That's okay. Because we don't need 5 of those exactly. I think, oh no, we do need 5. So we just don't want it to be lagging. So this is going to be steel, and this is going to be bricks as well. Okay, combined belts. This one's going to be above. And skip. This one is, the splitter is in line. Oops. And like that. And we'll go here. Okay. Now, I haven't output any rails yet, so we'll need to do that. So let's output some rails. And these are all okay. So iron sticks are here. Sticks, 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 sticks. Steel, grab. Okay, so these are I want to see how how these do. If they're going to keep up. Okay. Okay, so okay. Oh, whoops. That is not right. Grab, grab. This was different actually. This is a little different. This is like that. Okay. This was grabbing and this was grabbing. Okay, and this is grabbing as well. Okay, be nice to have some lights here. See what we're doing. Okay, so this takes care of the rails. Now, we have 2 more ingredients to get in though, because we need to make the furnaces, which we have 2/3 of. So we have this right here for the furnaces. So we need to bring in um, we need to bring in circuits, and I think we can place them through here. The only thing that is kind of funky about this is we need to get rails from this machine over to here. So I'm actually wondering if we cancel this and say, you know what, we're just going to keep on with our rails, and we're going to do all the rails in line like this. I think that would look better. Yes, I think that's better. Okay, so that is the final one there. And it also needs sticks and steel. Okay, perfect. So that is our that finishes off our rails, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of those machines, and they're making 4 rails per second. So that's actually 20 rails per second, and that's more than a half of a red belt. So we need to, if it was 4, that would be 16. That's still more than half. So this many about fill up half of a red belt. So it's kind of getting crowded on our red belt. Is that right? Let's double check. I mean, this is with blue assemblers. They don't have a crafting speed of 1. They have a crafting speed of 0.75, so they're not going to be able to fill this red belt up. They're gonna match with our science production, but what we might want to do is say like, hey, is there a way to get all of these on different sides of the belt? Probably not. So if these are 0.75, that means we're actually making 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically, yeah, we are. We are doing... Okay, sorry. Kind of long-winded here, but basically what's happening is if these were at a crafting speed of 1, they would be making 20 rails per second. And 20 rails per second all going on one side of the belt. And one side of this red belt can only handle 15. So we can't fit everything on here. But we're using blue assemblers, and blue assemblers are a crafting speed of 0.75. So we're not crafting 20 rails per second, we're crafting 15, and 15 will fit on half of a belt, and so that's fine. Well, what if we upgrade these to green assemblers? Well, then we're going to be upgrading these to blue belts as well, so we would need to upgrade these to blue belts. So basically what it comes down to is it's fine to keep these as is. And now we can just focus on the other 2 ingredients. Okay. So our other 2 ingredients are 3.4. So we're just going to say 4 furnaces and then 10 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 of the productivity module 1 assemblers. So what if we just say, fine, we are going to bring these online right here, and we are going to now stick these on their own belt. Can we do that? Let's see. Let's bring in our red and our green first. That's coming in here. And you know what? We're just gonna keep it like this, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe what we do is we go like this, and we go like that. Doesn't really help, but because we can't put anything here. Well, we'll see. Let's get our red and our greens going first. Oops. This. Okay. Red and greens, they are going on this one right here. Oops. Okay. Skip. Like that. And they're right next to each other. You got to do something kind of funky like that. Actually, what we would do is we would go like this and go like that, and then this would keep on going like that. Green chips, what's going on? Oh yeah, we're using them all for blues. Yeah. Most bases I think will have a lot more green chips, but pretty soon we're going to be done with the game, so we'll just keep going here. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, there's our red and our greens. Now we have got to put I think let's put these outputs here. And what I'd like to do, if I can, is get maybe I can just snake these down like this and say, you know what? I'm going to get my red and greens down here too. Like, all I need now is steel and red and greens. And then I can output these on here like this. And once this gets over here, I can now like run this right like that. Is that gonna work? We'll see. We'll get creative here. So far these are all on the right side of the belt for these furnaces. Let's hook up. What else do they need? They need that. You need that. You can just grab it from here. And you also need that. And they need red circuits. So that doesn't quite work because this isn't grabbing from here. Maybe let's not snake that around then. We'll keep this output here like this. And we go like that. Okay, so this is still going like this. Okay, so this is going to grab here. And this is going to grab, and this is going to grab, and this is going to grab, and this is going to grab. Okay, so these are all working. Okay, and they're outputting up here. And I'm going to bring this over here so my robots can keep feeding me stuff, please. And we are done with this text. Let's just queue up some more yellow text. Let's just get through them all. We should have these guys bringing stuff. It says we don't have any poles. Why would that be? It says we don't have power poles. And that's because we're not building any. Why not? Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so this recipe changed. Copper cable, the medium electric pole, and this one as well. This recipe changed. So it used to be steel, and this, and oh, what else was it? I think it was a copper plate. It was just a copper plate. And they changed it to a copper cable. They changed it to a copper cable, which is like, okay, that I was not expecting that, you know, like that's a lot different than I needed. So it's like, okay, now some of my stuff is not going to work. I've got to get some copper cables in there. How about that? Okay, thank you. And the same with this. It's like, okay, I need copper cables now. Yes, okay, so I can grab and I can grab and I can call this copper cable and that will feed out. But it was like, oh my gosh, what a pain. I'm going to have to remember that. Like all of your old blueprints are going to have to be tweaked, but that's okay. That's the fun of it. Okay, let's go back to this. So we have those galore now, and we're crafting all of those. So now we are left with just and let's see, we don't need this anymore either. Okay, so now we're just left with 10 productivity modules. So let's grab those, and we can actually now use this lane to output them. So they need to grab that, and you need to grab that. Oh, that's too far. What am I thinking? I'm like, why is that so far? It's just right here. And then we can output right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we want to do is get from pole to pole, and then everything will fit. Okay. Yes. All right, so you're producing, you're going to go here, and you're going to grab, you're going to, oh wait, sorry, this is not grab. This is place. This is placing and placing, placing and placing. And then this is grabbing all along. Okay, so if we go from roughly, and we want these to keep going through. So if we grab from here to there, yes, we should make it consistent. Okay, but let's paste it again. Or let's copy from pole to pole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is all 10 of those. Oh, whoops. Yes, and that is going up here. That's coming here. That is coming right here. And that is coming right here as well. Okay, sweet. Okay, we did it. Look at that, skinny. I actually think it would be fun to do every single science with the skinny design like this, but this is just the ingredients for purple science. So we could theoretically extend these out here and have them create it like that. That'd be cool. Cool exercise. But this is just kind of for fun. So purple. So I think these buffers are going to fill up and grab up to 60, but hopefully this rail makes it down the line. So again, we can see that we have gaps. We have gaps in this. Something's not working. That needs sticks. And it might be having a hard time grabbing because sometimes they have a hard time grabbing off of belts like this when two of them are. So we could always just say, you know what, just give first priority like this. And, you know, let's just call it good. Because we should have, yeah, we should only need three belt assemblers, or sorry, stick assemblers. But hopefully we see this back all the way up. And looks like all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those are working. And look, we have purple science flowing up the line. So hooray, look how backed up our yellow is. So we've got plenty of yellow to burn through. Recycling. Oh, cool. We can do recycling here. That is something that we're going to want to look at for sure for quality. Okay. All right. So we are 45 minutes into this episode, and we just banged out purple science. We probably could have done it faster if we hadn't done this whole thing. You know, we could have just done, all right, here's my rails. You know, here's my sticks. And I'm going to do a line, and here's my rails, you know, and then blah, blah, blah. So, but it's kind of a fun exercise to do things like this. Just kind of pick a paradigm and stick with it. Okay, so yellow, purple, it looks like it looks like we're keeping pace. I mean, all of these are backed up. So it looks like we're producing enough. I mean, once we start consuming purple, we'll see. But look, purple is, it's as if it's being consumed. So it looks like we've got enough for our base to just keep cranking on sciences. And that's awesome. Okay. So now what do we want to do? Well, I believe that we did our logistics system, which is those. And this tech right here. And it gives us some more chest types. Active provider, this thing is like going to want to empty itself. So if you put stuff in a purple chest, the way that I like to think of it is like it wants to get rid of its contents. It will send it somewhere else, like even to like I think it'll send it to like um, a storage chest like this. And we could probably test that. Like, it'd be kind of fun to test that. If we go clear out here and we say, okay, let's set up our own logistics, a separate logistics network. Like if we have like a robot network right here, this is its own network. Like it's not connected to anything else. So if we have like a purple chest and then we have this chest, this is like, these are not going to be touching these other things. Now, if we put something there, it doesn't have any robots, but if we give this some robots, does anything happen? Not with those. But what if we get some, no, I don't want these. Why do I have those? What if we get some logistics robots? Let's see if we can find some. Here we go. We got 50 logistics robots. Let's see what happens with these chests when we put these logistic robots. So they are saying, this chest is saying, I do not want to be full. Empty me right away. So the robots went, zip, okay, mission accomplished. Hooray, that's awesome. So these storage chests are literally just storage chests. Now you can say I only want to store this, but other than that, they don't do anything. These ones are very simple as well in that if you put something in, the robots are going to get it out as fast as they can. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay. Now, what else do we have? Well, we've got passive provider chests. These are like saying, hey, I'm here, like, use me if you want. Another way to think of those is robots will pick up stuff to move from these chests to somewhere else, but they're not storage chests. Like robots won't put anything in them. So it's useful to put stuff that you're producing in a particular area. You could put them in these, and then they'll just sit there and just be like, hey, I've got these here, you can use them whenever. So they're like this guy in that they only provide, like nothing will be stored in these by a robot, but they don't want to push their contents to the network. They're just like, hey, I'm happy to have this. So you would put a red chest, like you would put it for example, oh, am I out of power? What happened? Oops. Oh, I must have grabbed both of those. How about that? So they would be good for some place like this, where you're just saying, hey, I just want to pull stuff off the belt and make it available if you need it, but I don't need you to get rid of me. I'm just here to hang out. And bots won't stick anything in there. Bots won't put anything in there. We didn't, so that's kind of nice to have those. The reason that, so this setup right here is essentially, 4, 5, 6, is essentially the same as this in terms of how I'm using it, because I'm not putting anything back. Now that's different from, for example, are yellow belts. Like our yellow belts, we're saying, hey, if you go off somewhere in the base and upgrade to red, bring your yellow belts back here. Like, please bring them back here because I will then use them for something else. Okay. So reds are good to just stick somewhere to say, hey, I don't need you to bring red circuits back here necessarily. You can, I'm just going to store stuff. Okay. So that's those. The next ones we have are these buffer chests and these blue chests. And I only really use these in this way. So first of all, it's very handy with these blue chests and these green chests to set up assembly areas that don't rely on belting stuff in. They rely on um, logistic robots. So, for example, buffer chests. Buffer chests. How do you think of a buffer chest? Let's see what the wiki has to say. The buffer chest is advanced storage, part of logistics, and it's like a requester chest and a passive provider chest. Its purpose is to be an in-between for ferrying items from provider chests, like the red and the purple, to the player, or construction robots or requester chests. So it's kind of like a central supply point is a good thing to think about it as well. Like you can add, say, hey, I want you to collect all the belts that I need. So I can just come to one spot and grab all my belts. And I can grab all my inserters. I can grab all my train stuff. So that's one way to think of it. And I actually haven't used it that way, but that would be nice to say, you know what? Rather than a mall up here and I have to run and kind of grab everything, it's like, what if I just set up a mall right here that had everything being ferried there, right? So, and buffer chests, let's see. So that's a buffer chest. Then there's this requester chest. And the requester chest is what I think is really awesome. So for example, let's say we want to build stuff here. And we say, hey, I want to build gears with this assembly machine. I can copy this recipe with the shift right click and I can paste it here. And now when I open this, it says, okay, I'm going to request plates. I'm going to request plates because I know you want to build gears. I'm going to request them and I'm going to request that I always have this many. And you can change that. You can say, yeah, I always want 200 gears or plates to be coming to this area. And you can say, I want to request these from the network. It's going to request them from like purples and reds and yellows, but you can also request them from these chests as well. Now, if you want to set this up and not have anybody else touch these, then you don't want this on. But if you turn this on, then it's going to say, hey, if these fill up, then I want to grab these. Yes. So, a common thing to do is to set a requester like this. And then with these outputs, you say, hey, I'm outputting gears here. And if you've got any other gears in the network, I want you to bring them here so that I've kind of have this buffer of gears. This is like where I'm going to keep all my extra gears and I'm going to at least have this many gears, or I'm at least going to have, 1,000 gears. So if anybody else needs stuff, they can grab it from me. And I'm going to tell my inserter here to say, hey, go ahead and fill up this box, with gears, but let's leave some space. So maybe, only fill up this box if it's less than 1,000 gears, but we're going to request this thing is going to request 2,000 gears. So extra gears come to this buffer chest, but I'm going to fill it up. So it's similar to what we did with our mall, where we had our yellow boxes for, say, undergrounds, and we said, hey, fill this up with undergrounds. I'm not exactly sure, other than our yellow boxes can't set requests like that. They can't pull from the network. They can just kind of be a dumping ground. These are pushing. These are asking for. And these are also kind of asking for. So now what happens if we fill this with plates? These are going to go and fill this up because this is asking for plates. It's going to want 200 plates for as long as it can get it. This is going to crank on gears. And this is going to say, hey, I want gears, but you can fill me up with gears. Now, if we have another guy and we have another blue chest and we're saying, hey, I need something that builds with gears. Like I need belts going on here. I want both of those. If we copy and paste this formula, look, it's asking for the ingredients, and we can request that. So now it's going to be requesting plates from this purple guy, but it's also going to be asking for gears from the buffer chest. And the buffer chest is like, that's fine. You keep asking for gears. I'm going to do my best to keep this many in here, for you as a player. So for practical purposes, what that means is you can set up a whole line of stuff and say, hey, I'm going to now create a new mall, and I'm going to have belts, and I'm going to have that, and I'm going to have those, and then I'm going to have these, and I'm going to have those, and I'm going to have those, and I am going to set up requesters for all of these and say, okay, I'm going to do this nice little pattern where I do like requests, and then I have some buffer chests where I say feed, feed like this, and I'm going to copy and paste this formula and this formula. So now these guys want to build red belts, and they want to build red splitters or whatever. And they're going to grab all the ingredients from that from the logistics network. So I don't have to worry about belting resources in. All I have to worry about doing is making sure all the resources that I want are in the network somewhere. Okay? So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we make sure that all the stuff that we are producing or want to have somewhere are at least being stored in chests like this. Pipes, those look good. Now we're producing those. Engines, yeah, we want engines. We definitely want those to be in the network. Now we're cranking out engines over here, or at least we have been. What are these missing? Steel. Ooh, that's not good. Look at our steel production. Look how bad it is. Oh, we say why? Why is it so bad? Because look at our iron. Look how bad our iron is. Yeah, we also set some priorities on these. So we haven't been filling up our steel. So so that's one thing that we can do. Like we can change these to steel, or to these chests to say, hey, I might want these in the future. So can you please make yourselves available? And it'll say, yes, we'll do that. Okay, iron plates. So what's an example of where you might want this? Well, some stuff is, gosh, it requires a lot of components, and it's a pain in the butt to belt everything there. So for example, something like the Spidertron needs all of those ingredients. So, oh, that's a pain to have to be able to try and create that with. I mean, you can handcraft it, but that's just a lot of work to try and create that. So instead, we can say, well, let's say, let's actually say we're gonna get to that. So we do this, and holy cow, we can actually get there. So now what we can do is say, hey, I'm going to start working on these, on this, on these components. So I've got the processing units, the blue chips. I've got that in a storage chest. I've got low density in a storage chest. Efficiency module 3s. I've got to make those. Okay, how the heck am I going to do that, right? This would be a good example of where we could use something like this. So for example, let's say we stick this right here and we say, okay, we're going to use this, this, how many are these? 2? We're going to use our newfound robots, logistics capabilities. We're going to start creating these. How do we do that? So let's try it. We want to create these efficiency module 3s. So we're going to start with 1, and then we're going to start with 2. And maybe we want to jumpstart this, and we want to create more than we need. So because these take a lot, these take 4. So maybe we're going to do like this, and then we're going to do like this. Okay. So these are what we want to make. Now we don't have to worry about belting everything in for that. We can just use all of these. And you know what? We want these as well. So we want to make these. And let's do this. And let's put these down here on our toolbar. And let's see what we do. Okay, so the pattern is to take a blue and let's stick it in the middle. And then we shift right click and shift left click, just like when we're copying these recipes. And now we can see we basically copied the recipe for this into here. And then we say, okay, thank you. That's awesome. Now I'm going to, I'm just going to store them in this. And we'll call these greens, and we'll call these blues. And now we can say, hey, if you've got any greens kicking around, oh, we don't do that. Actually, we won't do that. We'll just let them store on their own. Let's go like this, and let's put some wire condition and just say, hey, just fill this up until there's 50 of, what are we, are these blue or red? Green. Fill these up until we have at least 50. And we'll copy that. Can we hook that up? And we'll say, hey, fill this up with blues until we've got 50. And it'll say, okay. And we want a request from buffer chests. Oh, we need to paste copy and paste that one as well. Now, when we go like this is just going to collect the ingredients. This is going to craft, and this is going to stick it in here. Same thing. This is just going to ask for these ingredients. It's going to, store them in here. This is going to craft it and put them in there. So we can use this same pattern like all over the place. We can say, okay, yeah, let's grab these. That's for those. That recipe is for those. And now it's requesting everything. Beep, beep, beep. So these are all going to request from buffer chests. This is going to request. And we can now just feed these into here. And as long as we've got lots of logistic bots, which we've got 800 of them, they're going to just do their darndest to supply all of this stuff right here. And then, we'll put these in the greens. Output can be slow because these are slow. And these are going to be quickly used up by those. But if there were any of these anywhere else in our network, we can say, hey, if we've got any of these kicking around, dump them in this box. And the same with these. If we've got any of these kicking around, dump them in this box. Otherwise, you guys just keep cranking away. Now, we can set limits on these as well. We can say, hey, fill up these until you've got these. Fill those up until you've got, I don't know, 50. Are we ever going to use that many? Probably not, but... And then we can copy that setup here. Anytime you come in and fiddle with these connections, fiddle with recipes, fiddle with these, you can shift right click and shift left click on something else and it will do it for you. Like it will copy that for you. So for example, if we even just go like this, this is better, and say, hey, keep putting those in until we've got, 12, something like that. Now we can just copy that and paste that. Sweet. Okay. Now we can say, finally, since we've actually researched it, hey, I want the assembly 3s here, and I want this like that, and I want you to build those. And I want you to put those in a buffer chest. Okay, we'll do that. Keep filling this up. Keep filling this up until I've got, I don't know, 10 or so, 50, whatever you want. You can just, however many you want to build. And now these are going to start collecting all of these tier module 2s, which are collecting all of these tier modules 1s. And look, I'm cranking out my first one on my way to my Spidertron. That is like so cool. So is there something else we need to build? Yeah, a rocket launcher. All right, let's build a rocket launcher. Rocket launcher. I've got all this stuff. I really don't want to build this in anymore. That's fine. I'm going to use this requester chest. It's going to do it for me. And I'm going to output to here. How many do I want? Well, how many do I need for a Spidertron? I need 4. Well, I'm going to make sure I keep going until I at least have maybe 8. Then I'll be able to crank out 2 really quickly. So what if I set that to 8? Okay, so this is here's another thing, a difference between these and these. Your logistics bots or your construction bots, after they deconstruct something, they will not randomly put anything in here. They will only put stuff that you request. With the yellows, if you don't set it, it's just a dumping ground. So these are a lot more tailored solutions. Okay, what else do we need? A portable fission reactor. Holy cow. Well, we researched it, so there we go. What do we need in this? We need nuclear fuel, low densities. We've got most of that. That's awesome. Okay, so let's grab that. Now, we need to get nuclear fuel in here. That's a good point. Let's think about this. We've got all of these guys here, and we've got this. What if we tweak this and say, you know what? Let's change this to a buffer chest. Let's change this to a buffer chest, and let's only put a certain amount of fuel. So this is 50, so that's 500, 1,000. let's say, hey, you know what? Let's only put stuff in if we're less than 1,000. How about that? And it'll say, okay, and we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of this belt. Bye-bye belt. We're not using silly belts anymore for our awesome nuclear power. We're only going to use chests. We don't even have enough room. Well, let's put some in here. Nice. Okay, let's pick the rest of this up. And we don't have enough room for that. Now, instead, we can say, hey, let's put some requests. These are going to request nuclear fuel. And they're going to request, how many do we want to request? 5. Now, these are going to be kept full by our bots. So if we copy and paste this nice pattern somewhere else, we don't have to belt in our fuel. We can just let our bots deliver it for us. And we are going to put purple ones here, and we're going to set up some storage for nuclear fuel processing. So we are going to request empty fuels, and we're going to request at least 50. Can we get more? I think, well, no, we're going to request like 1,000. Or let's see, how much room do we have? Hold on. How much do these stack to? These stack to, we can see, they stack to 50. So we're going to request, so this is 2,400. Is that 2,400? Okay, and then we are going to turn these into purples. Same with those. So now these guys are going to come here, grab all of those, because the purples are saying, we do not want anything anywhere. And they are going to transport those over to here. Pick those up. And we're going to do the same with these. And say, hey, if you get an empty fuel cell, you're immediately going to have it, get rid of it, and we're going to put it over here. And we're going to fill these up. So these are constantly saying, give me all your fuel cells. I want all your fuel cells. Like, please bring them and store them here. So that should take care of keeping these fueled and getting rid of the fuel cells, but we have it done by our robots instead. And because these are right here in a buffer chest, these can grab them and make them. So let's set up this and say, hey, this is for all of the portable fission reactors we have out there. Oh, we really don't want any, but if we get rid of something, you know, we can do that. I don't think we need it for that because we're not going to be like breaking something down. So instead we'll just say, this is for those. And we're going to set up this, and we're just going to say, hey, you can fill this up. We need 2, so we want to have at least 4. So please keep putting stuff in here until we have 4. And it'll say, yes, I will do that. Hooray. This is going to definitely tax our blue chips, but we've built up quite a lot. So, there you go. Okay. We are not crafting this science. Why? Because we've got reds. We're not creating enough reds. So we have enough reds to support yellow science and other stuff, but we're not even using all of them. So what can we do? Well, let's give this a boost. Let's put some more reds from our storage here. Ideally, we'd want to be boosting the production of all of these anyways. So we're going to be crafting a bunch of these. Oh no, look, it's not even that. It's rails. Rails is the problem. What are we missing? Are we missing rocks? We're missing stone. I thought it was red chips, but it's not. It's stone. What's going on with our stone? We probably just have a dead stone mine. What do we do about that? Well, we're going to bring in stone. Which we should have. Right here. Okay. Let's get that back up and running. Our purple science is stalling out. All right, let's see if we can thread this in here. We've got so stone bricks are on top. 1, 2, 1, 2, and they need to get all the way over here. Can we reach that far? Yes, we can. Okay, and now we've got bricks. Let's give them a little bit easier place to go to. We'll kind of just run it here. Yeah, all of our starter base is pretty much starting to run dry. If we look at our patches, I mean, we've got stuff there, but there's only so much you can mine. There's only so much we can mine out of this patch. We've got 40 miners going. That's not enough for a red belt, and most of this stone is getting eaten up by these bricks. So this will be a good help to our base. Right here, boom. So that should get our purple science back up and running, because we're backed up. Yeah, we don't need red chips. I thought it was red chips, but that's not the problem. So let's actually turn this off up here. Because that's not the issue. It was stone. So we should start seeing rails coming down the pipe now. We've got everything else. There we go. Hooray. Okay, so let's get back to this. Our Spidertron research stalled out, but we can keep going. So look, we've got four things. Nice. What else do we need? We need exoskeletons, which we want for armor anyways. So we can copy and paste, ask for, and say buffer chests. We are collecting all those. Hooray. And we'll put in, we'll connect it up like this. Only exoskeletons, please. How many do we want? 8, because we want to be able to create more than one Spidertron. Okay, so this is how you can create, just a little thing like this. Um, let's make sure that's connected. So now we can just kind of keep continuing this and just pick out more stuff we want to build. Spidertron, what else do we want? Radars, no problem. Radar, copy the recipe, request from buffer chest. Luckily, we're storing all of this, and we can just create that. Let's put radars in here. Okay. Go ahead. I don't think we're creating radars anywhere else, so let's just go ahead and, let's do like 50 or so. We might want them somewhere else. How's our power doing now? Creeping up there, but guess what? We can drop another one of these in pretty easy. We do want to make sure that these aren't running out, but again, we can easily extend those. And one of the technologies is to actually use up your fuel and convert it back to 3 uranium-238. So if we look at what it costs to make it, it costs 20 and we can get 3 back. So it's not bad, but we have so much of this. We have a ton of this. Full, just crazy amounts. Okay. So we are, that is all the ingredients for our Spidertron. We just need it to be researched. We do need some raw fish, but okay. So what else could we create? Well, we want to put these in the Spidertron, these legs. Maybe we want to do some type of energy shielding like that. And upgrade it to the next level. And each time you go in here, you can check to see if all the ingredients are available to get from buffer chests. We're going to need buffer chests for this one. Oh, buffer chest. So what's the requirements? We need 10 of those. So let's make sure that we are crafting that, or that we're filling this up. Let's say, hey, keep going until we have at least 20 of those. And maybe we want 4 or so in a Spidertron. So let's keep going until we've got 8 of these. Okay. What else might we want in a Spidertron? Well, we might want some roboports. We might want them to, and batteries. We might want all of these in here. So we would want to say, hey, let's create personal batteries. Let's create these. Let's create these roboports so we can then create these roboports. So basically, like anything you want to do, once you've got your base creating those materials and you're sticking them in chests, your logistic robots can go grab everything that they need and start cranking out stuff for you. No more belts, none of that. We can have them make lasers. We can have them make personal lasers. We could have, just whatever we need. So it's really nice once you get this technology to be able to do that and just crank out stuff, put it wherever you need. Like we can continue on with this and say, let's create laser turrets. Let's create personal laser turrets. And again, let's say we've got laser turrets built somewhere. This blue chest will grab them. So if we already, or sorry, let's say we dump our laser turrets in here. Well, if there are any other laser turrets anywhere in the system, this thing will grab them. Like if we say, hey, we want all the laser turrets, if there's laser turrets somewhere, it's going to grab them. So we were building them over here when we built out our little robot rush. We built laser turrets up here. And this is just a storage chest of nothing right now. Now look, these guys are going to go grab laser turrets. If we do that here, these guys are going to go grab laser turrets from here and take them somewhere else. So, nice. Still 27. So look, these guys are coming up here to grab those laser turrets. So that's another nice thing is if you've got random storage from other projects in your base just kind of hanging out, you can set up these buffer chests. These buffer chests are going to have priority over the storage chests. Again, these storage chests aren't asking for anything. They're just kind of sitting there. These are saying, hey, I want to create a buffer of materials. I want to have at least this many for the base. And I'm going to be putting them in maybe from a factory nearby. But if there's anywhere else that they're just kind of hanging out, I want them. So come bring them to me. The blues are saying, we want them too. And we want them and we get top priority. Like if they're sitting in here, we want them. So for example, if I want these so I can create those, you give them to me right now. And the buffer chest says, yeah, that's great. I'm just a buffer. I'm just trying to keep full so anybody who wants them can have them. And if there's any that are hanging out in the system, I want them right now. That's a way to think of them. So personal lasers, yep. So this is just like such a fun thing to get to once you've unlocked this, is all of this stuff. Look, I don't have any belts running in here. I'm not even doing direct feeding. Like I'm not even like putting a thing in between these. Because guess what? I might want to use these like in a wall defense somewhere. Like maybe I want to like, you know, put a wall and chop this off, or just so I can just no longer worry about pollution. So this exercise again is just like what do I want to create without having to rely on, you know, anything else. So this is running a little bit long. I've got to wrap it up. But again, let's look at what we accomplished. We got purple science running. We've got yellow science that is running. It's backed up even, so hooray for that. We are suffering a little bit from our starter base with the materials. That may actually become a hindrance, but right now all of these belts are backed up. These are not researching though. How come? What are we missing? Oh, they just don't have purple. The purple's all being grabbed. It's getting chomped up really quick. That's fine. So we were able to do that. We used our newfound yellow science power to unlock a couple really good technologies, primarily this logistics system and some more bot speed. So that was nice. After the Spidertron, we can get one more level of bot speed. That'll be nice. We were able to set up purple science, which all of these are running. We looked at the Factorio cheat sheet, which told us the correct ratios for that, which is always super helpful. And then we were able to use those new logistic chest types to create a mall that is, you know, it's, let's see if we can make this like this. Just kind of fill this in. We made a mall that is completely run by our robots. Like we don't have to do anything as long as we can keep the necessary ingredients in our base being produced somewhere in our base. we can crank them out. Look, we've got legs, we've got those, we've got those. Those are queued up. We're starting to create... Do we have steel? Oh, look at all these robots. They're just hanging out. So what's going on with these guys? Oh, this has 2... Oh, this needs to be 8. And I think we didn't set this one either. Oh, that's 20. What's going on here? Oh, these don't store up because they're just being immediately put in here. Okay. Radar. So all this stuff, we haven't, obviously haven't finished those yet, but all this stuff is just being created by our robots, or fed the ingredients, which is just super, super nice. So we'll leave it there. Next time, we will look at rounding out these, getting a Spidertron to run around in. And if we look at what's left, we are ready to research our rocket silo and create the rocket silo, fill it with rocket parts. We need to create rocket fuel, cargo landing pad, satellite. So if we put a satellite up into space, it will create science packs, and then the science packs, I believe, come into this cargo landing pad. So that'll be the goal for next time, is getting all of that set up to launch a rocket. I mean, that's how close we are. And then we can look at things you might want to do after this just to fiddle in your base. Bulking up some Spidertrons. We're putting all these rocket launchers in them, but we don't have any rockets. Like, it's really easy to create rockets. I used to have circuits, but now you just need a few simple things. We can totally grab these from our bus, come over here and just start cranking out rockets. So we got a lot of stuff we can do. So thanks for joining. We didn't even save the game. Probably should have saved it at the beginning. This is episode 21. We're super close to finishing this up. And then I can move on to creating a space age tutorial. I'm really excited about that. So if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I've gotten some feedback from some of you. It's been really helpful, and I hope you're enjoying this series and this is helping you become better at playing Factorio. This is not the best or the cleanest, but this is just kind of like, I start the game on the fly, we create stuff, and we hope it looks good and works out, and we try and problem solve along the way. And you know what? That's the way to play, I think. So we'll keep working on it next time. There we go. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time for episode 22. Maybe a couple more episodes, and we'll finally launch that rocket and be ready to move on to the next phase of Factorio, which is 2.0 and Space Age. Catch you later.